We're coming in hot with inspiring guests, witty banter, and colorful commentary for today's veterans and military community. This is the Tango Alpha Lima podcast.
They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
Welcome to the Tango Alpha Lima experience. Today is a bit different as Ashley and I and the whole TAL team just got back from the Student Veterans of America's NatCon 22 conference in Orlando. This is a roll-up episode with interviews and shout-outs from the attendees and even some VIPs.
So this first segment is an interview that we did with SVA President Jared Lyons. We were able to squeeze him in at our booth's pop-up studio to talk with him about the organization and the unique challenges of this year's event.
Here we are at hashtag NatCon 2022. We have the boss man, Jared Lyons, here. You might remember him from a full episode here at Tango Alpha Lima. How is this national convention that you're doing?
Yeah, so it's pretty good. First off, I didn't realize that you had enough listeners that would hear all your episodes to have repeat. That's great.
Right.
That's exciting for me to learn. Yeah. I'm just teasing you. NatCon's great. Just so you know, we're a conference, not a convention. And the only reason that that's different, like the American Legion does a convention. We do a conference. We're aspiring to a convention. So, though we're really well attended, it's going well. Pulling off a national event during a pandemic is not easy. A lot of inspiration came from the American Legion. I had a chance to see you guys at the at your convention in Arizona, and so but really what this is a response to our chapter leaders from all over the United States. When trying to plan this event, they asked the question, can we do it in person? And really for our headquarters team in DC, it was like safety is going to be at the forefront of everything we do, but we're going to figure out a way to pull this off safely. And the key thing to remember is that for our chapters all over the United States, they've been in school all last semester, in person, finding a way to do it, and really they're going to be in the spring as well. And so we really felt an obligation to our chapter leaders from throughout the United States to, if there was a way that we could figure out how to do this safely, we would. We've got COVID on the mind in every aspect of what we do. We've got an increasing variant of Omicron, but we've taken a ton of safety measures up to and even including testing for all of our attendees, and we're finding a way to pull it off safely, and I got to say, it's great to see y'all in person.
Before I hand it off to Ashley, I just want to point out that this is the first time any of us have taken off our masks.
That's true.
Because we want to make sure that you can understand all that this man has to say.
And we're keeping our distance.
So we are, and you did.
We've got testing,
you gave in the welcome kit.
That's right.
Yep.
You gave us a testing kit, so that was amazing. This look that we have right now is not typical. Everybody out there is
That's
in masks.
Correct. To include even the folks filming and everything, we really appreciate the safety. Yeah.
Right, there we go.
That's very patriotic, by the way. That's pretty cool.
That's all Jeff knows, patriotic, his whole being. So, Jared, tell us a little bit. So we are sitting in the exhibition hall, and we have vendors and nonprofits and corporate entities here that are supporting the cause. Can you tell us a little bit more about who's all here today and the continued support of just all these amazing organizations here?
Absolutely, Ashley. So when you kind of look at the national conference for SVA, NatCon as we affectionately call it, because you either have to shorten things or make up an acronym, right? That's our community. And so NatCon is designed for our chapter leaders. I think the American Legion equivalent to sort of understand that would be like, the post commander team of the Legion is the SVA chapter leaders of a chapter. And these folks are here to exchange leading and best practices on running successful, sustainable student veteran organizations on campuses throughout the United States. And so we've got 95 breakout sessions over 3 days, much like you'd have at a Legion convention. There's a lot of homage to Legion conventions. But then here in the exhibit hall, we call it the SVA campus. Kind of a fun play on words, much like on a college campus. You might think of the campus here as kind of like the quad on tabling day. So when all the different various student organizations and local community organizations might come on campus to talk to students, it's the same thing replicated here at our national conference. So when we look at it, what we've actually got is, to your point, some of the leading employers in the United States, be those large Fortune 500s, mid-sized companies, small businesses that all have a desire to want to employ a veteran workforce engaged in what they're doing. In addition, we've got just a plethora of veteran service organizations. Obviously, the Legion is here. We've got the VFW, but then we've got great organizations like Team Red, White, and Blue and the Travis Manion Foundation. Some of the newer post 9/11 groups are here. But then you've got great colleges and universities that are here doing a variety of things. You would think, hey, aren't these already students? But in some cases, we have chapters at community colleges. So there's other schools here talking to them about, hey, when you finish your associates, you might consider a bachelor's degree at our school. Or, hey, you're working on your bachelor's degree, you might consider graduate school. But even more than that, believe it or not, the university employers are here just like the corporate employers, looking for veteran talent to join the workforce at their colleges and universities and have those conversations. So just a variety of folks here on the SVA campus or our exhibit hall to have really good conversations with veterans, military families, military connected students, supporters and allies as well. Inclusive in an SVA chapter is really all students. We're a veteran organization tied into a student organization on a campus, but welcoming of really anyone that's supportive of the military as well as who has served in the military. And all that's here on the exhibit floor or the SVA campus.
That's excellent. It's been incredibly exciting. I know we've had people come up to the booth asking, what is the Legion? What do we do? And I'd love to say, we helped SVA get started. We
sure did.
We know what it's like to have that grassroots movement.
I think you'll know that. Literally, one of our first office locations in Washington, D.C. was lent to us at the Legion's D.C. office over on, what is that, 1600 K Street, give or take.
K Street.
Somewhere right in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to me because when I talk to people here, I always say that the American Legion is a great place to go when you graduate from the SVA, and there's a lot of there's time cross there,
Definitely.
right? Because there's people in the SVA who are in American Legion programs. So I guess my last question to you is, and you can address the world,
sure,
break that fourth wall. What, for people who aren't here,
yep,
what are they missing, and what can they get next year out of this to take with them?
Sure, and Jeff, one thing I'd just say too is, the Legion isn't a place only after you graduate. The Legion's a place for while you're in school. When I was an undergraduate, I was junior vice commander of post 3308 for the VFW, and just like the Legion, you have that opportunity while you're in school. Something else I'll say too is the Legion and its posts are massively impactful in their local communities, just like college and university campuses. And there are student veterans here who literally have some of their financial support to come to NatCon from their local Legion posts. So one thing about our model is most of SVA's programs and services are offered at no cost to our chapter leaders. Our student veterans and chapter leaders don't pay any dues to be part of SVA. We don't have a dues model. But NatCon's one of the very few exceptions where you have to raise the money to get your airfare if you have to fly in, or gas money for driving in groups, hotel expenses, and those types of things. When people get here, we take care of all the food and all the training and instruction. So local posts have actually helped get student veterans here to NatCon, and that's been happening in Legion posts across the country for years.
Well, I could tell you,
please
give a quick shout out
yeah.
to, in California, Post 123, affiliated with Santa Monica College
yeah.
in LA. They were supported by Post 283, the Ronald Reagan Palisades
sure.
Post 283 in California. So there's that little symbiotic relationship, and those kids that are in the SVA, I call them kids, I'm really getting old. Those kids in the SVA are in the American Legion. They're very active. They're in leadership positions
yeah.
At that post, and it's not a new post that they create. It's an old established post.
Yeah.
And we're finding that when people say, I don't know, the older people aren't going to let us do anything, the commander at that post.
Au contraire. Au
Yeah.
contraire. I
The
promise
commander
you
of that post, the adjutant at that post, I think half of their executive committee, E-board, XCOM, whatever people call it, are all from Santa Monica College, and it's pretty exciting. So I do want, like, what do people expect to get out of this?
Yeah, so, sort of end where I began, what our chapter leaders are coming to NatCon for, first and foremost, is the ability to just sort of pick up those tools, techniques, and tactics that are going to help them lead their chapters back on campus. SVA has an incredibly inclusive mentality as we operate as chapters in higher education. And so in this notion of inclusion is it's veterans, however they may identify, making sure that they feel like they have a home while they're students on campuses. And this is the place to get resources, to hear from literally nationally renowned experts who are leading breakout sessions like Ashley has done here at NatCon, but there's so many others. As I mentioned, 95 breakout sessions over 3 days. But in addition to all the resources and the training that are here at NatCon, if you can hear that buzz that's happening around us, that's really what we're having here. We have 49 states from all over the country represented here at NatCon. And these chapter leaders are having the opportunity to network with one another. Just like leading a post, really a lot of leadership positions, you hear the saying, it can be lonely at the top. This is the top. This is the top from all over the country. And so having that opportunity to make those connections that last beyond NatCon. COVID has given us the ability to operate virtually. So you can make those connections in person, you can carry them on. I mean, as simple things like texts and calls, but then all using, video chat and everything else. But we can keep those things going on. So it's networking with each other, but then it's having the opportunity to expand your network for the student veterans back on campus, from hiring folks, from the ability to secure internships, externships, scholarships. This is somebody who's paid for no debt on their college, right? That's happening here. Yeah. But it's also thought leaders in the veteran advocacy space. Legion does great panels, sort of having the opportunity to hear from student veterans and express what's happening on Capitol Hill. What are some of the important things that might be moving legislatively, and can we get feedback to help improve all that? It's all happening here. And the fact that we're back in person, it's overwhelming. I was at the Legion convention in Arizona, saw y'all pull off a safe convention that brought folks together to have those connections that then last well after you return to campus. That's all happening here. And so the magic of NatCon is the ability to exchange best ideas, meet folks of like mind who are trying to lead veteran initiatives back on America's college and university campuses throughout the nation. Literally was just down the hall with somebody from Hawaii that is here. It's talk about a distance to get to Florida. It's about as far as you can go. But just finding the way to make those connections and then have those connections continue to last as you get back to campus, to just lead student veteran initiatives on campuses.
Yeah, well, I will say it is incredibly magical, and we are in the most magical place on earth, Disney World. So I'm just very excited to be here. As you said, there are so many exciting exhibitors, thought leaders, just the top of the student leadership here that are going to continue to move forward and revitalize and refresh and do all the things that are going to...
Yeah, we heard from the Commander-in-Chief yesterday via video. We're being flexible when travel can't allow. You'll hear from the Secretary of Department of Veterans Affairs, the Secretary of Education. There are college and university presidents that are here. There's corporate executives that are here. There's leaders from the American Legion with one of the best veteran, podcasts and extreme outreach. I mean, celebrities, right? It's there are actually celebrities here too. There's actors, artists are here. I mean, it's not just STEM and business. It's academics. It's artists. It's all sort of coming together. I keep pointing everybody to the greatest legislation display. You've got the pen that FDR used.
You are on there.
You are
Your
on there.
picture is on there.
I still don't know why. I'm not worthy of any of that, but literally the pen that President Roosevelt used to sign in 1944, the Servicemen's Readjustment Act.
Wait,
there's more.
He's left. This is where Jeff Stouffer gets very nervous at this point.
Oh, yes. Jeff
is,
Stouffer is very nervous wherever he is.
I mean, so at NatCon you can hold history. And history is carrying into the present. And the Legion is among the historic organizations with over 100-year legacy of serving our community and adapting. And literally, we're following in your wake. You guys lead the way, and we just go in that direction. So appreciate you being here. Really.
Well, I love to end on a good, high complimentary note. So
well,
we are going to go, and I'm going to quiz you offline, and maybe people will answer what the missing state is. He said there's 49.
Well, I don't want to make anyone feel no.
No, we're not going to say it.
Yeah,
we're not going to say it here.
But if you know anyone from there, we would love to have that. We've yet to be able to say all 50 states, so that would be great.
All right, that's a goal for next year, all 50 states. Check out hashtag NatCon 2022.
The American Legion is Veterans Strength in America. We're in your community, supporting veterans, service members, and their families, enriching the lives of young people, and promoting citizenship and patriotism. Our members are passionate about these core values. Help strengthen America by joining the American Legion today. For more information, go to legion.org/join.
I'd like to thank Jared for taking time from what was a busy week for him. He was just as engaging and great to talk to as he was the first time on the show.
Yes. Thank you, Jared, one, for the interview, and then also for creating such an amazing event that has allowed us to speak to this next group of attendees to hear their stories and ideas.
All right, we are back here at the Tango Alpha Lima experience here at NatCon 2022, and I'm not even going to attempt to say and butcher this man's name, so I'm going to introduce himself.
So my name is Mike Hoherchak, and I'm with the Travis Manion Foundation today.
All right, so we're just going to start off. Ashley's going to ask you the big important questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, Mike, tell us why you're here, what you're up to, and how the American Legion can work with the Travis Manion Foundation.
Yeah. So Travis Manion Foundation was founded by the Manion family based out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And essentially what they do, their bread and butter is for taking veterans, training them and getting certified to be mentors to youth groups in local communities. And the idea is to build up local communities in the veterans location. And it's a nationwide endeavor that Travis Manion Foundation takes. And they also bring together Gold Star family members, and they do that through Operation Legacy projects as well as expeditions for them as well. So we kind of bring everybody together. They do different types of service projects, in every community. That things such as trash cleanup or planting trees, so we try to partner with other organizations to do service projects just to bring people together and help better the community.
So one of those partnerships that you work with is the American Legion, I assume, correct?
We can, absolutely.
Okay. And how would people get in touch with you, and how can they support you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So all of our members are called Spartans. So the way to be a Spartan is to go on travismanion.org, click on Join the Mission, and fill in your information. So that way you'll get linked in and get access to everything that we have going on. And you can also reach out to local chapters if you really feel like you are called to do something within your area. And if specifically the motto for Travis Manion Foundation is, if not me, then who? So if there's nothing going on in your area, you are more than welcome to create something and have Travis Manion support that.
I think that's fantastic. I think there's a lot of crossover with the American Legion programs and services, and I'm looking forward to everyone that's here at NatCon 2022 and getting in touch with you and at large with our community.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So there it is. It's a perfect match. American Legion and Travis Manion Foundation. Reach out, help out, and do your thing. All right, we are still here at NatCon 2022, and I got to say a little oop-rah to our next guest, Solomon Jennings. He is here from the WW FP, which
Yes,
stands
sir.
for?
The Congressional Wounded Warrior Fellowship Program. Actually, on the House of Representatives side, Congressional is a bit of a misnomer because it is specifically to the House. The Senate does not have a version of this program yet.
All right.
Oh.
All right. I know
You're here first, folks.
I know
Senate, get on it.
Ash has been chomping at the bit to get into this, so I'm going to.
Yes, so very,
See.
very exciting. So we're here at Student Veterans of America, their national conference. You have a fellowship. I'd love to know what this fellowship is about, its association, how it's helping veterans, get into politics or whatever career pathway of their choice. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. Well, the program's been around since February of 2008. It was started by House Speaker Pelosi and other House leadership to provide wounded and disabled veterans with employment opportunities to work directly for members of Congress. So we call it Congress's best kept secret, essentially. So it's been around for that long. So as far as the eligibility, you have to be honorably discharged from active duty within the last 5 years at the ranks of E5 and below for enlisted members, O3 and below for officers, have 20% or greater service-connected disabilities, and if you're a Purple Heart recipient and meet all those other requirements, the 20% or greater service-connected disability requirement does not apply to you. So as far as what our fellows actually do, when you think you have about 435 voting members of Congress on the House side, essentially you can do anything that member of Congress wants you to do. But since a lot of our fellows or all of them are veterans, and they tend to have a familiarity with the VA process and everything else, a lot of the members employ them as veterans caseworkers, veterans outreach specialists, but some of them do legislative work and policy work on DC back at the Hill as well. So totally what that member wants you to do, but it's a phenomenal program.
Definitely a best kept secret. I did not know that that was a thing. So I have learned something new today. So all right.
Well, with that kind of support from the members of Congress, and you've been around since 2015?
Oh, it's been around since 2008.
2008. That's a lot of years. So you probably have some cool success stories.
Yes.
Could you share one or two with us?
Oh, God. Pretty much every fellow is a success story that's been on this program. And we've had over 400 since 2008. And the way that we gauge success, it's in the eye of the beholder. So for some of our fellows, if you were on the program for 2 months and you got your dream job at the VA, that's a success story. But for other ones, if you did it for the entire 2 years and you got hired by that member of Congress for a full-time position, that's a success story as well. So it totally depends on the individual.
So the end game is getting employment directly related to the fellowship that they're doing?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Again, it totally depends on the veteran, whatever their individual goals are. For some of them, it is to get a taste of politics and maybe run for office themselves one day. Or maybe it's just to say, hey, I work for a member of Congress, and just to see how that's going to boost and really explode their resume and make them more marketable to all these other agencies. So it really depends on the individual.
That's fantastic. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
That is outstanding.
I'm excited.
So Solomon Jennings, we appreciate you coming on here. We appreciate the work that you and your organization are doing. And everybody out there, if you're looking for that sort of thing, then this is the man or the website.
And I'm sorry.
Yes,
please go to USA Jobs and search Wounded Warrior Fellow to find out about our listings. Currently, we're recruiting for about 40 different locations nationwide. And essentially, or again, as long as there's a member of Congress in that location, you can work there as far as the fellowship.
All right.
Woo! We are still on this buzzing floor here at #NatCon 2022 here with the Student Veterans of America, and we have with us today a very special guest. This is your first time on a podcast?
It is.
We want to introduce yourself and what it is that you do that the people love.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Tamika Brown. I am a processing technician at the Library of Congress with the Veterans History Project. And we are, do I tell what the project is now?
Please.
Or,
Go ahead.
What the project is, it's an oral history project, and we're collecting and preserving oral histories from veterans from so far back as World War I up until now the current conflicts. And it's a first-person oral history. And so, so we're collecting, preserving, and archiving those histories of veterans.
That's amazing. I am an avid book reader, and I also don't apparently say library or library correctly. So let's just get that out into the world.
No problem.
Absolutely love the Library of Congress. So you're in DC, you're reaching out to veterans here at Student Veterans of America Conference and all over the country, I'm assuming, to have them share their stories. Tell us a little bit more about how veterans can get a hold of you and like share those stories.
Okay, so of course you can go online, and the website is www.loc.gov/vets and learn more about the project, or you can visit the library and come down to see and submit your stories as well. You can also get your interview done at the library. We do that. So what else is it?
Well, so when you say a person in Topeka, Kansas, shout out Topeka, if they wanted to share their story, they could do it online?
Yeah, well, yes and no, because everything is not digitized, and we're not right now set up to take things digitally. But so what they will have to do is have their interview taken from their cousin, friend, sister, anyone, a relative, and submit it to the library. You have to mail it. Now, we do still take snail mail, but mail it in to us. And so, but what we do accept, the interview has to be at least 30 minutes. If it's not, we do the 30-20-10 rule. So at least a 30-minute interview. If not 30-minute interview, you can submit we take manuscripts, photographs. We want originals, though. If they're not originals, we would like high-quality copies. Manuscripts like memoirs, correspondence, military papers, photographs, and things like that, and you just mail it in to us.
Okay.
That is outstanding. So this is an ongoing project, and then how do people consume, or like if I wanted to read some of these histories or listen to them?
Yeah, we do have about 10%, maybe 15% of our collections are digitized. So you can go online to look up say if you were interested in someone in the 35th Infantry Division. So you would go onto our website, type in 35th Infantry Division, and all of those people that we have that were in the 35th Infantry Division will pop up, and you could view their stories. So, like I said, all of them are not digitized. So if there's one in particular that you have to see, then you would have to come from Kansas. Shout out to Topeka, and view the story.
That's outstanding.
Excellent. So if I'm at the Library of Congress, is there a place where I can maybe see some of these exhibited, or is that a possibility, or is that something on the horizon?
However, we do have an information center, and it's located in the Adams building. We just moved, so I don't know the exact room number. But you would have to do at least 2 weeks notice, because in order to view a particular collections, because we have to pull the collection, copy it, and things like that. We don't serve originals, so you just have to give. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's a shorter wait time than trying to get cleared to do a White House tour. So, if you're in D.C., folks, also check out the Library of Congress.
Right?
Please do. Yes.
And this sounds like a super admirable and ambitious project, and I encourage everyone who's capable and has information to not only participate and contribute to the program, but go there and consume these great timeless stories that pretty much define the military that has been a part of the United States of America.
Yes.
So I think that's it. I'm going to go log on right now to loc.com/veterans or vets?
Vets.
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 Yes.
Short and sweet. And
it's .gov/vets.
Oh, .gov.
.gov.
Don't forget the .gov. So we're going to say the whole thing for them again properly.
Yes, Veterans History Project, www.loc.gov/vets. VETS.
Whoa, we are still here at NatCon 2022. We are still Tango Alpha Lima. but we have somebody new here. Fatima Jaghoori is going to talk with us today. Ashley, what are you going to talk about?
So I have a quick shout out and a humble appreciation. So this is a finalist that we are sitting beside for Student Veteran of the Year, and we know that is, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. No. So love that you're here. We were told that you have been working with the American Legion on a few projects, and that is, I'm sure, a combination with why you're so spectacular and have been nominated for the achievement and award. But I'd love to hear more.
You have me blushing like nobody's business right now. Thank you. Our American Legion is mainly, it's Miss Matt Burney, and he is amazing. In the past, he's worked with our SVA in coordinating. We had student veterans come together, and we did a Veterans Day dinner, and he was super helpful in that. And then also we did a graduation celebration, because not a lot of veterans actually celebrate their graduations. They kind of just go to other people's graduation parties. So we had one just for us, and he was super helpful with that one. And then another thing is, so when I reached out in August, I reached out to the American Legion and our Flint Hills Veterans Coalition, because he's a part of that as well. He's a man who wears many, many hats. And I was bawling my eyes out, and I was like, I have no idea how to help in this situation, in the Afghan extraction piece. How can we even help people? My family's stranded, how can I help them? And this man was just like, I have no idea how to help you. And he just hugged me, and he was like, I will do everything I can, though. So he was like, let me know how I can work. And we're trying to get the American Legion to partner with our MERT, so our Manhattan Afghan Refugee Resettlement Team. It's our tiny little town of the Little Apple, Manhattan. Bringing and taking some of the pressures off of the bigger cities, so Kansas City and Wichita, to kind of help facilitate and actually integrate the Afghan refugees into our community. And Manhattan's an amazing place to be. So I know that we've also had we have a letter from the president of the American Legion in our little Veterans Center. So it's been really amazing to work with Matt and American Legion in all aspects, not just SVA, but also emotional support. Just as another veteran, I think he's just a doll and a half. Like, you just gotta love the guy.
That is pretty sweet. I love hearing about the integration of SVA and American Legion, because I think SVA does an important task. Like we were talking earlier, I didn't identify as a veteran in college, and I don't know if there were any others there with me, because I didn't talk about that kind of stuff. So it's great that you guys banded together and you had a mission that you wanted to get done, which helped motivate you even further. And then you have, it must be common lore in the American Legion, because I have no idea what to do, but I'll help. So like I say that all the time, I rarely know what to do, but I am, always willing to help. So I'm glad that you have that. And do you have anything else?
So I just want to say that kudos to everything you're doing with your American Legion post and Little Apple, Manhattan in Kansas. So I know we were doing some Kansas
You know
shout-outs
what? That's
today.
the second time today we're shouting out Kansas.
Kansas.
What up, Kansas?
Kansas. But point being, whether you are at, your post in Kansas or California or Virginia, there is a unique sense of post camaraderie, whatever that program may be, whatever you're supporting. If you're partnering with an SVA chapter, there's so many ways to get involved, and I'm so happy to hear that your hometown, your little slice of heaven, is providing you with all of the resources and support that you need, and continuing on with Legion mission is that we may not have all the answers, but we will find someone that will have the answers, or we will find someone who can help you. So
I love what you were saying earlier too.
That's also true, and I hope that we get to talk to you again, because I know you have a much bigger, very compelling story that people want and probably need to hear. But for today, I just want to thank you for being on here. Thank you for doing all that you do with SVA, working with the American Legion, being awesome, and just generally an amazing human being from the long time that we've spent together in these last 5 minutes.
Are squirrels nesting in the backseat of your old car? Is the trade-in value less than the cost of towing it away? The American Legion Vehicle Donation Program is your solution. tax-deductible auto donations not only get rid of that old clunker, they help American Legion programs and services. Learn more today by visiting legion.careasy.org or call 844-4LEGION. That's 844-453-4466.
Those were awesome. And it reminds us that these experiences aren't just presentations on stage and in the breakout sessions. It extends to the audience's interactions and how much we can learn from one another.
Those interactions also lead to some fun stuff like these shout outs at the Tango Alpha Lima pop-up studio.
My name is Catherine Dobbs. I am a recent Legionnaire and I am a member of the Student Veterans of America. Most recently, I led my chapter, Bowling Green State University, where I'm now an alumnus. And it is because my experience with the SVA and my work partnering our chapter with the Legion that I now have my job at Student Veterans of America HQ. So thanks, guys.
I just want to give a personal shout out to the Tallahassee American Legion. Thank you for all you do with us. We love working with you guys here at the CVA. And I would like to give a personal shout out, thank you to my hometown American Legion in Sherburne, New York. You guys do great things up there in the Great North, and we just want to thank you for all that you do.
I just want to say a shout out to American Legion in Tallahassee. You guys have been nothing but grateful for us, and I really appreciate everything you guys do for us, honestly. You know, the CVA chapter, you guys help out with everything we do, and go Noles.
Go Noles. Go Noles.
Hi, my name is Timothy Jones. I want to give a huge shout out to SVA. You saved my life. At a period when I was broken, and beyond repair, you rebuilt me. I just want to give a shout out to you. Thank you for saving my life.
My name is Jonathan White. I'm a public affairs officer at the University of Mississippi SVA Chapter. I want to give a shout out to our Ole Miss chapter. It's University of Mississippi, great campus. There's a great atmosphere, great school, all in all. Shout out to also our winning football team, had a good winning season. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Joseph Sharp at the American Legion in the headquarters in Washington, D.C. Great man, showed me a lot about advocating for veterans. And I want to give a big shout out to Post 55 in Oxford, Mississippi.
Those were awesome. And it was just a sampling of the great stuff happening at NatCon 2022.
Could not agree more, Jeff. So if you are a student veteran and you're looking to join an SVA charter at your school, or maybe your school doesn't have an SVA chapter, consider starting one. Go to studentveterans.org for more information.
Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank the whole TAL team, because these on-the-road assignments are definitely a team effort.
Absolutely, Jeff. Could not agree more. Thank you to super producer Holly and recording and tech wizard Jarek. We also had National Judge Advocate Mark Seavey. He decided to make an appearance with his red cap, but we didn't get him on camera. So next time, Mark, next time.
Now, with that, that's a wrap on our NatCon 2022 coverage. Remember to subscribe to Tango Alpha Lima on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you consume podcasts. And while you're there, please review and rate us with all 5 stars.
So also, if you want to send us some feedback, you can comment on our Facebook and YouTube channels, or you can send us an email at tangoalphalima@legion.org.
Well, that's it for the Tango Alpha Lima experience at NatCon 2022. Let's call this mission complete.